This lesson will explore leading a disruptive change effectively. Anna knows that disruptive changes affect an organization tremendously. As a leader, she is more interested in exploring the response to these changes and promoting an organizational culture that can tackle these changes effectively. Anna lists down all the challenges that her organization is undergoing. Now, she starts formulating the response plan for tackling these changes in a strategic manner. Disruptive changes affect an entire industry. In this VUCA world, Anna wants to set an example for other leaders and show them the path to best-in-class leadership. First and foremost, Anna wants to know the causes of these disruptive changes, and then she wants to focus on their evolution. She is curious to know why many organizations fail while driving these transformations. Anna knows that there are many benefits of driving a digital transformation. She wants to leverage these in an agile and systematic manner. Before formulating the plan, she wants to know the organizational attributes that can be inculcated in her organization to drive the transformation journey. Anna also thinks about the key challenges associated with digital transformation. Let us try to find the answers to these questions in this lesson. In this lesson, we will explore disruptive change and its impact on organizations. A disruptive change affects not only an organization, but an industry as well. This is caused by changes in market trends, consumer behavior, technological advancement, the democratization of information, access to the internet, and more. These disruptive changes result in a shift in the mode of production or service offering, which in turn changes the business model and irreversibly impact the incumbents. In short, a disruptive change is irreversible and has to be endured. Let's look at a classic example of disruptive innovation. The taxi services have been around for over half a century. There had been individuals and companies that have developed interesting business models like call taxi, which had a common number to book a taxi and route a driver to the passengers. However, the radical change engendered by the introduction of Uber drastically changed the industry and captured the global market in a short time. Thus, the taxi business, which was primarily local, has evolved itself as a global marketplace opportunity. A disruptive change impacts the entire value or supply chain. Several industries are constantly undergoing disruptive changes in the digital era. These changes have introduced innovations that ease out the challenges for the customers and drive higher profitability and revenue at scale than running a localized business. Let us look at the indicators that depict disruptive changes in an industry or organization. Moving away from local to global or vice versa, sudden fall in the price of products and services due to technological innovations, anti-incumbency or dislike of the existing products and services in the market, offering a variety of choices to the customers, consolidation of businesses in a given industry, and technological and digital innovations that make jobs effortless. These are broad-based indicators of disruptive changes already happening, or an early warning signal of an inevitable digital disruption. Disruption impacts organizations in many ways, and some businesses are pulled back into the black hole, while others emerge as strong leaders. The example of Nokia and Apple from the previous lessons clearly depict the difference. In the upcoming video, we will explore how a leader should respond to disruptive changes. Let's see how a leader can lead through disruptive changes. Leaders never quit. As a consequence of digital disruptions, lots of businesses have been wound up and have quit. Good leaders never quit and respond through a growth mindset. Hence, leading a disruptive change is all about responding to the changes. Generally, responding to disruption follows a sequence of avoiding, acknowledging, accepting, and adopting. Smart leaders do not lose time by avoiding or denying the reality. They acknowledge and accept the reality and jump into the adoption. Hence, the first step towards leading a disruptive change is accepting the disruption and diagnosing its magnitude. Leaders should reimagine their business model and adopt the changing trends with agile delivery of products and services. In short, leading through disruptive change is about accepting the fact that change is inevitable, and the only way to address it is by acting on it. Now that we know how a leader can lead through disruptive changes, in the subsequent video, We will explore the traits of disruptive leaders. Let us explore the traits of disruptive leaders. These are some common threads of personality traits demonstrated by disruptive leaders: emotional intelligence and empathy, intellectual insights with a practical mindset, cooperation and collaboration, immoderation with a sense of purpose, self-awareness and self-discipline, uncompromising and relentless, and calculated risk takers. Let us explore them one by one. We will begin with emotional intelligence and empathy. This is the most important trait of a disruptive leader. Such leaders have a phenomenal emotional quotient. They feel the vibe of the environment and act in an empathizing manner. They understand the customers better and work toward creating a remarkable customer experience. Now, let's move on to the next trait, that is intellectual insights with a practical mindset. Disruptive leaders are brainiacs. They have a broad and deep understanding of the technology and industry and how the application can alter the industry. This requires a phenomenal intellectual prowess and an eye for detail. They understand how the system works and how the teams can be engaged to deliver the changes and results. The next trait is cooperation and collaboration. Disruptive leaders can cooperate and collaborate at the same time. Cooperation is about leading the teams with mutual respect, transparency, shared goals, and better engagement. Collaboration is about developing mutual trust, acknowledging and adopting mutual interdependence, building long-term partnerships, and empowering the teams. Now, let's look at the next trait, that is, immoderation with a sense of purpose. Disruptive leaders are obsessed with excellence and achievement. They demonstrate a maniacal focus and push the boundaries of the envelope beyond the comfort zone to fulfill a purpose. The next trait is self-awareness and self-discipline. Self-awareness is all about knowing the values, personality, and emotions that impact your professional, personal, and societal relationships. Transformational leaders demonstrate a very high level of self-awareness and self-discipline. This helps them moderate their actions and responses to take better decisions. Another very important trait of disruptive leaders is that they are uncompromising and relentless. They pick up one idea and drive it relentlessly. Such leaders do not compromise on a suboptimal solution or service. Let us take the example of Steve Jobs. During the iPhone development process, the design had a glass screen set into an aluminum case. Jobs felt the iPhone experience was all about the display, and its current design with the aluminum case was sabotaging the experience. The 9-month effort of developing this design was trashed, and Jobs pushed his team relentlessly to create a seamless display. This paid off well for the company, and according to Jobs himself, it was one of his proudest moments at Apple. Finally, let's look at the calculated risk-taking capacity of a disruptive leader. Such leaders commit to experiment and have an appetite for failure, as they consider it to be a part of the process. They don't blindly rush through the disruption, but cleverly adapt the plot of the paradox of change. Let us explore the causes of disruptive change. To lead a disruptive transformation, it is important to understand what causes the disruptive changes. Smart digital leaders must understand the factors and influences that drive digital transformation. The factors that drive digital transformation are internal and external. Some of the external factors that drive digital transformation are changing needs and requirements of the customer, regulatory changes, technological changes, and economical changes. Let us look at each of them in detail. We will begin with changing needs and requirements of the customer. Consumer needs and requirements change over time. This could be because of technological changes, applications, new discoveries, and priorities. Next is regulatory changes. Due to the disruption in boundaries and barriers, regulatory requirements also alter. They become rigid or loosen up, impacting the landscape of the business. Let us now look at technological changes. Just as modes of travel have improved and diversified over the decades, the technology running the businesses has also evolved from typewriters to laptops to super processing machines. We will move on to the last factor, economical changes. As the revenue streams develop and diversify, the spending and consumption patterns of people also change accordingly. The change in the economic landscape leads to disruption in industries. Let us now move on to the internal factors that drive digital transformation. They are changes in organizational strategy, changes in workforce and evolution of working styles, and organizations' foray into new businesses. Let us begin with changes in organizational strategy. Like humans, organizations also evolve over time, and while aligning to the changing needs of the future, the organizations redesign and deploy strategies that disrupt the industries at large. Let us now explore the next factor, changes in workforce and evolution of working styles. There is generational variation in organizations, and the skill and competence levels have multiplied over a period of time. This disrupts the ways of working across organizations. The last factor is organizations' foray into new businesses. As organizations foray into new frontiers, the quality and impact of changes are multiplied, and disruptions are caused in the process. In the next video, we will look at the execution imperatives of disruptive changes. Let us see the execution imperatives of disruptive changes. Today, organizations are constantly changing the fundamental way of running businesses. When a change is for the better, the revenue increases and the staff becomes efficient. On the other hand, if the change leads to attrition, the business becomes obsolete. Some of the key factors that play a critical role in the change process are quality of resources and quality of processes. Let's look at each of them in detail. Let us begin with quality of resources. Resources include people, technology, infrastructure, and other non-physical entities like data, design, brand, relationships, and public relations. Resources play a critical role in the change process. Better the quality of the resources, better the deployment of the change. Let us move on to quality of processes. Processes are integral to an organization, especially during a change journey. The success of a business process is determined by the ways of working like collaboration, communication, and decision-making. Formal processes are documented and regulated. Informal processes are not documented and they don't follow a standard set of procedures. The suddenness of the changes in the business environment can put the business at risk and may lead to exhaustion of valuable resources. Hence, it is pertinent that the allocation of resources is effective and processes are optimized. In the next video, we will explore the various reasons why large organizations fail in their digital transformation journey. Let us see why large organizations fail. Large companies fail in their digital transformation journey because the companies become obsessed with their existing processes and are tactically focused. Large organizations are not early adopters of technology. They find it extremely difficult to change their existing processes and technologies. They pay attention to only key customers and end up losing the niche customers. These organizations fail to recognize their in-house innovation capabilities. They fail to drive innovation in an agile manner. Organizations must celebrate small wins to ensure the team does not lose motivation when they face a setback. Learning from failures through introspection helps organizations thrive well in the process of change management. Executing a disruptive change could be a challenge. Factors like resources, process, and value outline the impact of the transformation. Keeping track of the competition and keeping the workforce's future relevant during the change process will lead to efficient management of the resources and business processes. During the disruptive change deployment, it is vital to leverage data analytics, identify the change imperatives, to take necessary action to get positive results. Data insights ensure focused interventions for delivering results. If you smell the coffee, you better wake up. The change does not happen overnight, it builds up consistently over the period. Being non-observant and not paying attention to the symptoms and signals may prove to be disastrous for organizations. Keeping a close tab on the changes help organizations stay relevant and thrive at the time of uncertainty. Let us look at a case study on storage devices. In the early 2000s, diskettes, floppy disks, were a booming business. Companies like Sony, Samsung, NEC, Amket, and more were striving to improve their product in terms of storage and performance. There was stiff competition in pricing, and volumes played a key role in terms of revenue. These organizations focused on the linear navigation of products from one generation to another over several years of investments and effort. There was a switch from traditional magnetic tapes to optical reading and recognition. The compact discs, with a storage capacity of 650 MB, and DVDs, with a storage capacity of 1 GB, were replaced by flash drives, or USB, and portable hard disks. While these organizations were there in the storage industry for a long time, including the VCRs and audio tapes manufacturing, they were constrained by their limiting beliefs and myopic understanding of the emerging technology. Some of the leading companies went into oblivion as the technology moved from physical space to virtual. Cloud storage took over as the primal opportunity. As and when the new generation of technology emerged, their products became irrelevant in terms of features and became unsustainable, with the disrupting business models of cloud service providers. Today, the customers do not buy floppies, CDs, DVDs, or flash or portable hard disks in a volume that was in their peak. Also, the cost of storage has almost become negligible with the online connectivity and cloud storage. Therefore, organizations become obsolete unless they disrupt themselves, even if they are a market leader. In the next video, we will look at some of the benefits of digital transformation. Let us look at the benefits of digital transformation. There are innumerable reasons why organizations must embark on and deliver digital transformation initiatives. They are consumer benefits, financial benefits, quality benefits. Here are some consumer benefits of digital transformation. Improved Net Promoter Score, NPS, measures the advocacy and support of customers to recommend an organization's products or services to others. Digital transformation can result in improved retention of existing customers and increased revenue generation in a customer lifecycle journey. And digital transformation can offer customized and personalized customer experience, hyper-local data and insights of customer behavior to launch new products and services. It can offset any irrelevant and non-value-added services. We will now move on to some financial benefits of digital transformation. These are driving higher volumes of products and services, acquiring new customers, leading to increased revenue, delivering products and services at a lower cost, eliminating waste, reducing the non-value-added activities, improving the process capability, and accelerating the throughput. Here are some quality benefits of digital transformation. Reduction of defects and product failure in service, leading to the delivery of high-quality service and products for the customers. Improved reliability of the processes and reduced failover issues and challenges. In the next video, we will explore the attributes of an organization that demonstrates a positive change management culture. Let us explore the attributes of the organization that demonstrate a positive change management culture. While disruptive leaders adapt to changing environments, it is important that the organizations collectively respond with a positive change culture. Here are the attributes of the organization that demonstrate a positive change management culture. Bold decisions and brave actions, leadership acting as a catalyst of change, leadership demonstrating collective digital acuity, maniacal focus on customers, and high-performance leadership. Let's explore them in detail. We will start with bold decisions and brave actions. Organizations have to promote a culture of fail fast, but succeed smart. The values and culture of the organization must reinforce the belief that failure is part of the process. When an organization embarks on a journey, there will be failures and suboptimal performances, misalignment of strategies, and sudden disruption from the external world. The collective leadership of an organization should have the ability to embrace short-term setbacks and look for opportunities for a sustainable comeback. Let us look at the example of Disney to understand this better. Disney had undergone several setbacks at their inception during the late 20s and early 30s. At one point in time, they were ridiculed for not having enough creativity and imagination. They lost the rights of the famous Oswald, the Lucky Rabbit character, and the company was bleeding with a debt of about $4 million in the 1930s. However, Disney learned from its past mistakes, and without losing hope, it released its major production Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This blockbuster enabled the company to bankroll and escape bankruptcy. This paved the way for building Walt Disney Studios, which today attracts millions of fans and is a major landmark and tourist spot. Let's move on to leadership acting as catalyst of change. The term catalyst refers to accelerating the delivery or change in an organization. A catalyst leader has a phenomenal attitude of accelerating the pace of delivery without altering the outcomes and objectives. This requires the alignment of vision, commitment, and executive authority to take decisions at a level that can fast-track the actions and help in achieving the goals faster. In the next video, we will further explore the attributes of the organization that demonstrate a positive change management culture. Let us further explore the attributes of the organization that demonstrate a positive change management culture. Let's look at leadership demonstrating collective digital acuity. The organization has to collectively be agile in responding to the digital breakthrough. This requires a systemic culture of learning and unlearning. An agile organization understands what worked yesterday may not be the solution for the results tomorrow. Organizations with a learning mindset reinvent themselves and adapt to the changing technology on an ongoing basis. They can take the disruption head on. The next attribute is about having a maniacal focus on the customers. A successful organization keeps on enhancing their customer experience on an ongoing basis, tends to solve more problems, and stays relevant to the changing needs of the customers by improving their products and services. When this attribute is embedded into the culture of an organization, it can make a big difference to the overall way an organization responds to digital disruption. Now, let's look at the final attribute, that is high-performance leadership. The organizations that have demonstrated phenomenal changes and have managed to lead the way in disruption had one thing in common: high-performance leadership. These organizations focus on the delivery of solid results. They undertake gargantuan goals and break them into meaningful chunks. They focus on effective delivery and track their performance, irrespective of any failures and setbacks. In the next video, we will explore the key challenges that organizations face in the path to digital transformation. Let us explore the key challenges in the path to digital transformation. As we have already learned, VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, is ingrained and has become a part of businesses and organizations. The volatile and complicated landscape in which we operate is filled with the changes in technology, impact of globalization, dynamic workforce alternatives, and demographic challenges. Most businesses today, though uncomfortable about changing, have raised the bar to deliver in the process of digital transformation and stay relevant. However, this alone is not enough to thrive in the process of digital transformation. These are the critical challenges that act as deterrents in the process of digital transformation. Shift in customers' expectations and demands. Shift in technology. Information overload and cluttered insights. Non-alignment of change culture. Skill mismatch. And siloed management. Let us explore them in detail. Firstly, let's look at the shift in customers' expectations and demands. Nothing is constant in this world, things can change drastically from the time you fire a print to what comes out of the printer. So is the volatility and nature of customer expectations and demands. Organizations have to calibrate the changing consumer behaviors and patterns to understand the relevance of the change agenda and be quick enough to change gears. Now, we will look at shift in technology. The influence and application of technology offer opportunities, possibilities, and efficiencies, though it's very disruptive in nature. The technological strategy plays a key role in an organization's change journey. While it is very difficult to ensure the organization's technological choices are always accurate, the organizations can course correct their choices through periodic retrospective analysis, the relevance of their tech and digital strategy, and its alignment for the changing business landscape. In the next video, we will further explore the key challenges in the path to digital transformation. Let us further explore the key challenges in the path to digital transformation. Let's look at information overload and cluttered insights. Businesses today are bombarded with data. There is no dearth of data about businesses and customers. There is an overload of data and over-engineered insights which fail to reflect the realities of the world and create a virtual data cluttered environment. It is important that organizations review the relevance of these data and use them efficiently. This ensures the business relevance is not lost and decisions are aligned to objectives and goals, rather being misguided by distracted and truncated data analysis. Now, let's look at the next challenge in the path to digital transformation, that is, non-alignment of change culture. An organization must not embark on change management without investing in cultural transformation and building a growth mindset. Now, let's look at skill mismatch. There is a rising shortage of skills across the industries. Though there are significant investments in science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM subjects, across the globe, the talent crisis is for real. This starts from the teams in the ground to the leadership. It is pertinent that organizations invest adequately in retaining and developing skilled people to build a pipeline of perennial talent. The final challenge is siloed management. What is required today is an organization-wide leadership that can formulate global strategies and execute organization-wide changes consistently. Historically, leadership training has been about building team management skills. With the shortage of transformational leaders in organizations, these skills cannot be limited to top-down. They must be flattened and spread deeper into the organization. This requires new ways of thinking and moving away from the siloed way of managing the organization. In the next video, we will explore disruptive innovation in detail. Let us explore disruptive innovation theory and how large organizations can respond to the challenges caused by disruption. Disruptive innovation theory, adapted from Christensen's Innovator's Dilemma, is the process by which a smaller company with fewer resources challenges an incumbent by capturing the bottom of the market and scaling the ladder to move up market. Let's look at the steps involved in this process. Large businesses invest in research and development and innovate to develop products or services that address the customer's demands. They tend to ignore the smaller segments of customers in down market. Startups or new entrants target the market segments that are ignored by large organizations, and they fulfill the demands of these segments in an optimal fashion. Generally, large enterprises fail to respond to the startups or new entrants as they continue to focus on their most profitable market segments. Being successful at a niche down market, the new entrants gain a foothold in the industry. Gradually, they move to the upmarket segments by offering products and services which can cannibalize the large enterprises' cash cow mainstream customers. The moment the glass ceiling of the large enterprises' mainstream customers drifts toward the new entrant, the disruption takes its shape. Now, let us look at the two strategies that can be used to respond to the challenges caused by disruption. The first strategy is to engage the new entrants or promote their competitors. And the second strategy is to develop, augment, or enhance their existing products and services to counter the challenges. The better strategy of the two depends mainly on the context. The best and most suitable strategy may be one of the two strategies, combination of the two strategies, or a middle path between the two strategies. Ultimately, what counts is how quickly the large organizations recognize the challenges and choose to respond in an agile manner. In the next video, we will explore some stories of disruptive innovation. Let us explore some examples of disruptive innovation at play. At one point in time in history, Yahoo missed an opportunity to acquire Google, and Nokia missed undertaking Android. As they say, the rest is history. Yahoo and Nokia, the two bellwether organizations in the tech and internet world, were lost in oblivion. Thus, organizations must smell the coffee and wake up. Now let's look at another example. Hyper-sensing the good opportunity, Google realized the power of video content and mobile operating system. It acquired YouTube and Android for a phenomenal price. On the other hand, Facebook also acquired Instagram and WhatsApp. This was ridiculed by a section of media and tech giants, especially on the valuations. However, history has proven them wrong. These valuations quadrupled in a short period, and the acquisitions turned out to be extremely profitable in the long run. These examples are a reflection of disruption theory in action. In the first case, the large market enterprises failed to detect the new entrant's disruption and lost their market share. In the second case, the large enterprises were quick to realize the potential impact of the new entrants, and they acquired them without delay. This helped to leapfrog their competition in this space. So, it's time for a quick recap. Disruptive changes occur due to shifts in market trends, consumer behavior, technological advancement, the democratization of information, access to the internet, and more. Anna learns that disruption impacts organizations in many ways, and some businesses are pulled back into the black hole, while others emerge as strong leaders. Anna wants to set an example to other leaders by not quitting and responding through a growth mindset. Generally, responding to disruption follows a sequence of avoiding, acknowledging, accepting, and adopting. Anna does not want to lose time by avoiding or denying the reality. She wants to acknowledge and accept the reality and jump into the adoption. As a first step toward leading a disruptive change, she wants to accept the disruption and diagnose its magnitude. Anna learns these traits of a disruptive leader: emotional intelligence and empathy, intellectual insights with a practical mindset, cooperation and collaboration, immoderation with a sense of purpose, self-awareness and self-discipline, uncompromising and relentless, and calculated risk takers. Disruptive leaders have a phenomenal emotional quotient. They feel the vibe of the environment and act in an empathizing manner. They understand the customers better and work toward creating a remarkable customer experience. Disruptive leaders can cooperate and collaborate at the same time. Cooperation is about leading the teams with mutual respect, transparency, shared goals, and better engagement. Anna knows that disruptive leaders are obsessed with excellence and achievement. She wants to demonstrate a maniacal focus and push the boundaries of the envelope beyond the comfort zone to fulfill a purpose. She is self-aware and knows the values, personality, and emotions that impact her professional, personal, and societal relationships. Anna learns these attributes of the organization that demonstrate a positive change management culture: bold decisions and brave actions, leadership acting as a catalyst of change, leadership demonstrating collective digital acuity, maniacal focus on customers, and high-performance leadership. She is also aware of the critical challenges that act as deterrents in the process of digital transformation. These are shift in customers' expectations and demands, shift in technology, information overload and cluttered insights, non-alignment of change culture, skill mismatch, and siloed management. Now, Anna also explores the disruptive innovation theory, which is the process by which a smaller company with fewer resources challenges an incumbent by capturing the bottom of the market and scaling the ladder to move up market.